My turn to talk. My turn to talk. Yes, it is a tie versus Cool. This is so important. Now, as Dom was just alluding to on the desk, the reason why this is such a hype matchup is because it's not only Zatai versus Cool, it's Zatai and Xiaohu. Now, if you go all the way back, Cool was supposed to be the Faker of the LPL. Now, of course, Faker met Cool, Faker destroyed Cool, and Faker went like this, and Cool went like this. So history tells that story, and then everyone looked to Zatai. Now's your time to step up. Now you need to be the next answer to Korea's power mid laners. And Zatai fell over, and he was replaced by the Koreans. And then Xiaohu shows up, 2016, toe-to-toe with Faker, and takes him down, and now has fallen off. So who will rise?
That is the question as we get onto the rift here in Beijing. We are calling in to this arena. I'm going to give it over to the crowd. A lot of the arenas have very much a flair to... Hey, you calm down. A lot of the arenas have a nice flair to them. Beijing and Xi'an especially, you've got the flags over in Beijing. And the drums of war in Xi'an, which I absolutely love. But here we are in Beijing.
I hear Rusty got to beat one.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I was really jealous.
Wow.
But getting us quickly up to speed again, this game is being played on a delay. We have not seen it, so we are experiencing it fresh just as you guys are. If you haven't seen maybe a little known team, RNG, MSI champions, best team in the world, whatever. But FPX! FunPlus Phoenix, one of our newer organizations. They were formerly known as Newbie. They then bought out the spot, and they retained Newbie's bottom lane in LWX and Chris. Now, the thing about this squad is it's a very young, raw, kind of inexperienced, a bit headstrong talent. LWX, we call him the shotgun of the LPL. He likes to step forward, he likes to get in your face, and sometimes it works out, most of the time it doesn't. And then you got Gimgoon, the brawler of the LPL. He's been around, energy pacemaker, some back and forth. Definitely likes to get into the thick of things, but they just didn't have anything to measure them out, to level out this aggression until Cool appeared. So FPX, it's now about, can Cool pilot this very young, hot-headed team and make them into champions?
Because they are a down in the rough. They are a very fiery squad, to be honest. You've got Gimgoon in the top lane, who is the OG Kled, playing Kled in the top lane. You've got someone like Cool, who will bring out a talent and kill you in the middle lane. And then, as you said, you've also got the shotgun in the middle, in the bottom lane. That being said, Xiaohu is about to just demolish him in the mid lane. Cool getting chased down, has to parkour over the wall, and now he's going back to base.
Past your prime. Move over for the new talent. Xiaohu, for the longest time, has been kind of the next big up-and-coming Chinese mid laner. Of course, Rookie still holds that throne as best mid laner in the LPL, but Xiaohu has had his moments, and when he is on the Zoe, you see that confidence come back. It's been a very up and down year for Xiaohu, where it feels like the little tiger really hasn't woken up from hibernation, but once he does, that will be the final form of RNG.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's spoken about it towards that point himself. He's very cognizant of that fact. He was talking about the spring tiger, and now he wants to, as you said, wake up from hibernation, come into summer strong. And that is definitely some of that happening in the mid lane. Now, the bottom lane, I actually like the adaptation we saw recently from FPX. They actually gave LWX a Karthus. Now, I think this pick is perfect for him because he actually can frontline, and it's a good thing. Then you also have Chris behind him, who is actually probably one of the most stable people on this FPX roster.
He's also one of the loudest people. If you ever see FPX in person, they are a very yelly team, high momentum, high energy. It can sometimes clutter their comms. Again, it's just about cooling down a lot of these hotheads and trying to control this aggression into something that's a bit more malleable to work with.
For sure. And meanwhile, when we actually bring it back to this game, since we were thrust in to Summoner's Rift, we have Alex right here. He's going to be playing in over Shi, and we saw him the other day, and actually really liked what we saw from Alex. He's also going to be picking up the Talia in this one, and it's just being a massive pest to MLXG. Now, Chris was also on his way from the bottom lane to assist Alex right here. This is going to be a pincer from two sides, as Cool blocks the mid lane. I like it, as Xiaohu is trying to rotate.
I mean, the mentality is we've seen these talent compositions time and time again, especially with the Smite, and it's you get control over the mid lane, and then you get the initial power spike back for talent, and you start walking into the enemy jungle or walking down into the bot lane. But hold on, if that had connected, that would have been disaster.
For sure, because MLXG is going to jump over the wall anyway. It's like, how's it going? That is a very odd animation, but he will make it out of there, and MLXG is going to push towards the enemy jungle right here. It's like Raptors? I would like Raptors. Cool's like, why? I have Smite too, so I will clear these one out. And I'm actually now looking towards top side. Well, he's got himself a crab, but he's actually finding it rather difficult to find successful ways into these lanes.
I like this bounce house bottom lane. The knock-up potential between Rakan and Cho'Gath.
It's true.
So what I was going to talk about is Talon's ability to roam down and to look for dives alongside Alex having access to the wall. Now, obviously level 4, we're not going to see any type of play like that, but once we are post level 6, I have a feeling that that's going to be the telegraph from FPX if they want their composition to start snowballing. Now the issue is that Zoe should be able to constantly make Talon choose between picking up this farm in this mid lane and looking for those successful roams and ganks. And then if Cool is never perfect, doesn't have the vision control, and tries to roam down and Xiao catches him, he has just as much kill pressure on the Talon as the Talon has on the Zoe.
And Zoe, if she finds these blindsiding paddle stars as well, that's also something to be looking out for. Or not look out for, because it will be from further form. Meal on the bottom side, again. You're looking towards Let Me. Now, if you are a new viewer for the last, I'd say probably week and a half, you're probably like, well, why has Uzi turned into a top planer? Excellent question, dear viewer. Well, I'm going to have to put that on hold because Shadow Assault is in the mid lane. He's about to come out of stealth, and Xiaohu's going to say, hello, more sparkles, and then back off this minion whip. Well, to go back to that point, Zatai is in the top lane right here, and Alex is ganking bottom lane. Ming looking for the knock-up. He's going to be flashed over by Chris. He's chasing them down. Oh, you're mine. Throws him out into the flick right there, through onto Let Me. He is dead. That's not an AD carry. A kill over to Alex.
The one true top laner is still alive, though. Zatai's like, rough.
Yep.
2v2. Never like it.
Never lucky. And in the top lane, you've got this constant push coming out from the Darius. Turns out Kled doesn't do well into bruises, and especially not Darius. And King is having a real bad time. Imagine bleeding off of Skull. That's the worst.
He's looking at a potential dive as well. Cool is trying to chase this up because MLXG is just free walking into the jungle.
Get out of my house, MLXG.
Doesn't have ult, so can't chase for the kill.
I warned you once. Go back to your river. Okay, we can see how that bot lane was set up once again.
And it was really just well played by Crisp. And like you were saying, Crisp probably the most stable member of the FPX roster, including Cool. He's just kind of been an unsung hero. It feels like we have a lot of, because the league is so big, strong players that never get their moment in the spotlight.
Yep. And to be fair, even back before Chris had his name changed from Pinus, nowadays Crisp is
that was a risky...
It was, yeah. That was like a risky click of the day.
Watching your face realize what you had just put yourself in.
Well, the problem is I was committed. In the bottom lane, Ming looking towards that damage on LWX, but they are still fighting when they should be running because Alex is coming in for this repeat gank and he is walking towards him with this red buff.
He wants the one without flash.
Right now. Oh, which one's it going to be? Crisp chasing after. He wants these sacks to come up. Oh, he's found Let Me right here. He'll get the gobble up onto this Cho'Gath. And now comes the tie into the bottom lane. They've already killed a Cho'Gath, however. Oh, and the fleck lands onto the Darius, but they're actually like, oh, do we actually want this? Because Darius has his Q ready to go. Gimgrim's going to say no, let's get out of here. He does have the charge, but for the disengage, Alex is low. He's going to be put to sleep, and Crisp has been found. Give him the swipe and pike there, Xin Zhao, and he'll get the kill.
Massive damage, however, from Xiaohu, and the tempo advantage does go back in favor of RNG. And with Xiaohu here, they have so much zone control over the tower. Now, still early on in the game, so they're not going to be able to push it down. They escort LWX back safely, especially because Let Me teleported topside. Imagine if Let Me had decided to teleport bot.
Whoa.
Ooh, dive.
Yeah, it is very interesting to watch RNG with multiple solo lanes on the squad, but let's see that again. And it was Alex just, looking for a peek gank.
I feel like they committed really hard to Let Me. Now, naturally, Ming still has his flash, so they're trying to get the flashless Cho'Gath, but it delays so much time before they get the kill that multiple members are able to make the rotation down here. Not just the completed teleport from Zatai, but also then looking up into the river that Xiaohu has gotten here. And that was really the downfall of FPX, is that they committed and had to really overreach so far to get the Cho'Gath that it allowed RNG to at least trade even in terms of 1-for-1 and get the wave fed back into the tower.
There was also an option for them to look for the quick crack right there, but Alex was like, no, I have to wait for the Tam Kench to spit him out into a guaranteed flick, where he potentially, with them both lined up against the wall, could have found at least a flick and an instant kill. But
you just wasted all of your summoner spells there, Xiaohu. Or excuse me, all of your cooldowns, and then you approached the wave and were surprised when you lost 90% of your health.
Yeah.
He's
Shocking.
like, I didn't expect me to cue the creep wave and then Talon to decide that I had no ability to damage him and immediately jump on my face.
No, I wasn't. This wasn't part of it, but he definitely did just scratch his head there as well. So it definitely goes along with the Frosco narrative. Win becomes Cool gets wrecked in the mid lane. Go home.
Both mid laners are having a great time.
Yep. They're actually setting in the substitutes. Attack me out, put in Alex. Tilly is basically a mid laner, and Xin Zhao, I've seen him in my solo queue in mid lane. Let's make it happen. MLXG versus Alex, they're the new mid laners. Look at me.
Just more gold for me.
Yep, there you go. And MLXG is always going to be happy with that as a end result. Even on this bottom lane, LWX, the shotgun of the team. 94 farm currently, looking towards his blade of the Ruin King. He is a big old Varus. And in this bottom lane, Let Me as well, he is quite far behind. He is 60 farm and 0-2. Alex is coming into the bottom lane, he's just like, add insult to injury, salt in the wound, sounds good to me.
It is a very interesting bot lane duo here from RNG, and I think rightfully punished.
Oh boy. Yep, that feels bad.
I'm not...
He's going to feel that in the morning.
I'm not really sure what the game plan is here, unless they just automatically have control where they think that if it comes to a 4v4, because they have Cho'Gath and Rakan, that they'll just win out. But it seems like a very easy call for FPX to just say, let's just gank this repeatedly.
Pretty much. MLXG is like the janitor right now. He's just turning up to bot lanes, it's like, I'm here for the farm. Walks up to mid lanes, it's like, oh, no, Zhao, I'll take this farm too. He's 55 farm right now, and he's just got a whole lot of minions.
I mean, it's just hard feeding right now. This is a power int.
No, this is a serial int, because each one is a small amount of inting, leading to compulsive inting. There you go, that's probably what it is. Meanwhile, in top lane, Zatai is 1-0-0. He's having a good time against his Kled. Junglers have not even sniffed at top lane, so that's very nice. And Kled is terrible into bruises. So the fact that Gimgoon, yes, he's the OG Kled, I just want to see FPX flex Gimgoon into the mid lane, have him play Kled, and then move Cool up to the top lane and have him play something.
Sir,
what?
You will learn your place. Cool is a legacy, and he is going to kill the new blood.
No, he's not. He's just going to send him back to Basica. But I'm just saying, if you're going to play Kled, put him in the mid lane. I actually think that Gimgoon could... If you had a Gimgoon versus Doinby one-on-one, I don't know who I would put the money on.
Doinby.
I'd put it on Gimgoon. This guy's that good at Kled. Just not into bruises, because it's a terrible matchup. He's in kill threat right now, by the way, which is why he can't step up to the minion wave. When you're that closer to dismounting, it's bad news bears. LWX is going to step up to the tower, find a knock-up. Ming does not want to jump in on that. And guess who's here, Frost? The guy who's bought real estate, and that's Alex. He's looking for another gank. He's got level 6. They've got in the tower. That's first tower gold, and Ming will look for the initiate. It's going to be the charm onto Chris, but he's not the one who wants to be charming. Zai's not going to be happy about that one.
And they escaped just through the sliver of a hole right there. But FPX, I mean, RNG saw the writing on the wall. They decided not to try to dig out their bottom lane. The Cho'Gath has been punished repeatedly. I mean, you just look at those items, you look at that scoreline. Oh,
hey.
oh.
Hey!
Oh.
The Spring Tiger, Xiao Hu.
He woke up. Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine. How you doing? I'm actually not sure. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's the wrong wall. Yeah, that was a misplay on the passive right there.
So fun fact about FPX, I was doing a stat breakout with them and just trying to figure out, pinpoint where are things actually going wrong for FPX, because this team has not found a lot of success in the LPL.
I would like to go all over the wall, please. Oh.
And the thing is you can't see these moments in stats. But you can see that they have the worst objective control of any team in the LPL, which is impressive because they're not a last place team in the LPL, but they have the worst Baron control stats, they have the worst Dragon control stats, they have one of the lowest tower control stats. So despite the fact that we praise the likes of Gimgoon, of Cool, of LWX, and we even like their new additions of Alex and Crisp in terms of their support staff, how these team is working cohesively across the map is just non-existent. So in isolated lanes, they're fine. Their CSD, their EXP differences at 10 are all perfectly fine. They sit kind of middle of the pack. It makes sense for kind of the wins and the losses that they have. But anything that requires any sort of coordination, team cohesion, or just general friendliness, not really happening.
And so is the reason for that literally just like they just don't have any coordination between each other?
They are a puppy with massive growing pains.
I see.
Have you ever seen a puppy try to like run around a corner? It like slides.
Yeah. If you had to compare them to a breed, what breed of dog would
German
they be?
Shepherd.
German Shepherd?
Yeah, with giant ears.
Ah,
Big paws.
I see.
One day, it will be a beautiful dog.
Yeah. Today, however, not particularly graceful.
One of its ears is up and one of them is down.
That's very true. Yeah, that was really unfortunate, cool. I feel bad for him. 'Cause that entire wall counts as a thing that you can jump over. He was trying to get the angle so that he'd go through the nice long bit so you can get all the way back to your tower. It didn't happen. MNXG was there and he was just like, haha. W. When it becomes lightning, by the way, is one of the most annoying things to say as a play-by-play. So I've been coming up with ways to say it more easily. Swipe and spike.
The never get away from me ever.
What? That's your Dace with charge, right?
No, but Zin's out just generally as a champion.
Oh,
once
I see.
He's on
Oh,
you.
there's a fight in the mid lane. LWX is being jumped towards by Ming. Get over here. I want you. Oh, we've got Crisp instead. We'll go for some catfish. Oh, we're going to find a knock-up right there. MNXG low. Cool finds the assassinate. And in comes Gimgoon from downtown. We're ready to kill some Datai. Says payback for laning phase. Oh, Ming caught out by Cool once again in the backside. It's going to be a kill onto LWX. This was a messy fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, even our observer was caught off real guard. Didn't catch that one to begin with. He kind of like whiplashed over into it. Let Me does get some redemption though. Now has 2 kills to his name, so no longer just sitting 0 and 3 and has completed his proto belt.
Yeah.
So he feels much better.
That was a real ungraceful team fight. That was literally just all over the place from both teams.
Well, these compositions, I've been looking at RNG's composition. It's hard because as a caster, if you don't actually get to walk through draft, it can really mess with you because you set up a lot of your narratives there. And I've just been looking at RNG's comp and really trying to digest it. It's just not going down.
Yeah.
But it worked out for them in this team fight. They've got a lot of, I don't know, chaos. That's what it looks like. It looks like absolute chaos here.
It really is. It just turns into 3 separate fights at the same time. That's the one we had off screen. And it was just a Cho'Gath for some reason going 1 versus 1 against Varus. I don't know why no one was there to protect him, but you go. The shotgun was in the backlines and ultimately died. But maybe that's why humans need to be more like penguins. You know how they just like regurgitate things that they can't digest, or they do digest, to feed the others. I don't know where I'm going on that one, to be honest. I spent too much time casting with Rusty. Anyway, 4-4 in terms of kills. Got an advantage going into FPX in this one. That's right. First tower gold has gone over towards them, and specifically LWX. Now, he had a fantastic time in the early laning phase. 2-1-1, 170 farms. So, will be something to look out for, though he does need protection in his team fights.
So at this point, they want to start playing around their side lane. So they're going to park their ADC duo in the mid lane, similar to what we saw in the last series with JD Gaming, and then play around Talon and Talia's mobility and try to find picks. But again, if it comes to coordination, this type of composition could be very difficult for FPX to execute on.
How good are they at parallel parking? Well, this is a bit of a 8-point turn. Oop. No, nope. That's the... I don't know if the Western or the English client Zoe does that, but that is almost every single frickin' time that Zoe does that in the Chinese client. Blue as a raspberry. See? It's every single time, but she does it in different ways.
She's just a psychopath that skips at you.
It definitely is. But she's like a celestial or something, so... Gonna get away with it. Oh.
They're
That's my award.
playing with fire here. I mean, Shahu does have flash, but you could see the pincer was coming in, and Game Goom was even getting ready to get on this action.
Oh, hello. Oh, caught in place underneath the Shadow Assault, and he's going to be given the spear, just the tip. Mid lane, FPX, they want this tower. But Game Goom uses violent tendencies, so he doesn't really want to fight right now. But takes the tower down to half, so pretty good place. Herald is still just chilling in the pit. No one has gone for that one just yet, but we can take a look at how Cool got caught.
This game has really devolved into an absolute mess right now. So Cool is caught on the one ward that he doesn't know exists there, but he does know that RNG have just exited the mid lane towards the top of the map. So feels just that he's way too confident in Talon's mobility, and that's twice now that Cool should not have died because he knew people were there and then just disrespect.
To be fair, who wards there? Like, usually people ward in the tri-bush, people ward, you know, next to Shelly, put it in the picks.
That is
who puts it right behind that little nook
It's a
around
pretty
the
common
side?
ward.
Who does that?
A lot of teams.
You show me a VOD where people do that. I look cool and I'm like, yeah, no, there shouldn't be a ward though.
I'm talking about the ward that's literally on Shelly.
Oh, right. No, I'm talking about that one that's next to the blast gun.
They ward it for the blast gun.
Oh, that's fair. Well, Shelly goes down. Actually, not sure we picked that one up. Let me just takes out Alex, though. Gimgoon getting chased down back towards his team. Chow turning around, dodging that one with the charge. Gimgoon. Crisp and Cool are actually running away by virtue of the charge movement speed, and LXG's making his way up the river. This river walking will pay off. Well, Xiao Hu buying a bit of time. We're disqualified, but we are going to remountify. Whoop, yeah, this goal. 1 versus 3. Still buying some time. Cool with the old rake, and now Gimgoon descaled once again, and he will eventually fall. Though he did take someone with him, he took the Tiger.
Again, a very messy fight, and because RNG have access to the Rift Herald, they're going to summon Shelly and then take down this tower, possibly get another deep charge. Now, I do like the response from FPX is that they have LWX already in position to take down mid tower, so not for nothing.
Cool. Parkour over the wall. Crisp is here to save his noggin. Gets into a bad position, but Shelly, she's rearing back. Whoop. Oh, come on. What a tease. I was so ready for that as well. I felt bad. Anyway, let's take a look at this Shelly fight. So I think that was a Zoe Q picking up that Herald.
And then, of course, it's a walk by Darius as he walks in from mid lane to pick it up and then use it top lane. That's cute. These fights, though, you know, normally we praise Royal Never Give Up for their ability to team fight, but it feels like without Uzi, they've lost a bit of their minds.
Yeah.
Because they are just full on feeding into the FPX fight mentality. Now,
yeah, but
it's working for them, but
yes.
Boy, is it difficult to watch.
But FPX are doing the same thing. So ultimately, it's just like, well, because yes, FPX are a thousand gone ahead, but we have so many kills in this early game. 13 kills, 12 kills, sorry, quick maths. But something I didn't catch first time in that team fight, Gimgoon was drowsy and then activated his ultimate just before the drowsiness turns to sleepiness.
Bicycled it.
And bicycled out.
Yep.
That was Kled mechanics.
Like you said, the OG Kled, he played it before anyone else was playing it.
Yep.
When he first entered the LPL.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hipster. He was the first one to bring the Kled up to the top lane. I believe he was one of the first to bring Urgot to the top lane.
I mean, if anyone's going to be a hipster on FPX, it would definitely be Gimgoon and Cool. They've already got a man bun, so.
That's true. I don't know if he still has it, though. You know, Cool in that, so there's a video out there where Cool and I believe, who was it? Rookie.
Yep.
Singing, right? Cool looked dapper AF, dude. I feel like he should just go back to that. To be honest, I would love it if he just rocked up the stage and plays her every single time. I think he could pull that off 100%.
He is, with the OMG standard, we call them the bad boys of the LPL, and Cool used to be that,
He did.
I almost said icon.
Yeah. Now there is an icon on that team. Icon. Oh!
Oh!
Yep.
No side lane for you.
Hero Sweets in the top lane. Yep.
Our observer is, he's a little bit loose tonight.
Yep. Yeah, Observer's on a struggle streak right now.
To be fair, this game is real chaos.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty difficult to find these things.
But we are
Let me do it
we are
anyways.
whipping across the screen, and we are just having to grab replay after replay. So let's see what happened here.
Proto Belt.
Oh, that's just a 1-2 good night.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, that was so well executed by Let Me. The silence from the follow-up, the Proto Belt forwards. I mean, he's 5-3 and 0. He had a horrific laning phase. He's actually been Flame Horizoned by LWX, but the guy is still eating people left and right. And that is a kill someone build in a side lane.
That is a destroy everything build. And if you see a talent now, the Cho'Gath's starting to make a lot more sense. I forget in what order the drafts came out, but maybe this is the secret pick. Lemmy's like, give me Cho'Gath. Yeah. He doesn't have kill pressure on me, and I can 100-0 him with this build path.
Now, the other thing is really good against is Kled, because when Kled is dismounted, you don't give him a chance to remount, because you just eat him.
Burst damage.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's why Urgot was brought in a while back against Vladimir, was because when Vladimir's just like, I'm gonna heal up and Sanguine Port, well, you've already been tagged by Fear Beyond Death, so you're dead. So there's lots of nice execution options. That's why the problem with Mundo right now is, are you kidding me? 33 health? That's going to go down soon. The problem with Mundo right now is it's so difficult to kill him because he stays above a certain HP, so you can't execute him with Darius, you can't execute him with Pyke. I actually think Urgot would be a fantastic pick into Mundo in the current meta, because when he pops Sadism, if you just hit him a little bit, then you can kill him with Fear Beyond Death.
But the thing is that if you never get that type of matchup or opportunity, Mundo is worth so much more than Urgot.
Oh, yeah. That's why Urgot ended up sucking into Vladimir. This was happening worldwide in some of the smaller regions, in Spain specifically. And it had like a 30% win rate. Because the problem was that Vladimir was just more useful than Urgot in like every other circumstance. But the one time it happened for the counter, that's what goes in the highlight reel. Well, that really matters at the end of the day, looking for those highlights, being a highlight hunter.
I'm hunting for something this game, and I'm trying to land on it.
What have you found so far?
I keep looking at the items, just hoping
If
for
we're playing Monopoly, where are you at right now? You in jail?
Yes.
Chris getting caught by this one. Ooh, back in the head. Can we close out the ward violent tendencies on that one? Really dislikes wards. So tight. Actually looking for a flank right here. And it's all of this setup around Dragon, of course. It is Mountain. And it's FPX to get here first, actually. Ming's stepping up. He's got Let Me behind him. He's kind of like the bouncer, the bodyguard, if you will, to Ming.
I just can't believe the gall of RNG. It's interesting. The fact that Darius got to use his back right there because FPX don't have any offensive vision to keep track of these types of back timers, and he's not even forced to use the teleport. He gets to walk all the way back when you have a Talia wall. You know, if FPX ever really wanted to push tempo here, they have all of the tools on their composition to do so, and they need to be respectful of the engage potential, but here we go.
I'm going the wrong way. Oh, I might find Xiaohu though. Goon chasing him down on the backside, allowing time for Alex to kill MLXG with the rest of his team. Triple knockup coming out of Lemmy is good, but Crisp is low. There's a chance for Darius to go Darius, but not going to happen. And it will just be a single kill onto MLXG, so that worked out real well for FPX, moving towards the Dragon, but it doesn't look like RNG are done. Xiaohu is stepping up to the plate, as is Ming. He pops over the wall and spots the Dragon's health. Not going to happen here today. That will be scored by Cool. A little bit risky, but they burst it at the right time.
Triple Dragon, though, incredibly important that FPX were able to deny that away from RNG in the end. Of course, Xiaohu was able to steal the initial one as we take another look at that replay. And all these fights just feel very, very chaotic. Naturally here, just using the Kled charge, finding MLXG. And like I was saying, it was pretty ballsy for RNG to be that far forward anyway, seeing such engaged tools like charge and like Talia wall.
Yep.
You need to be laying down your poke, using more of your vision, and starting to chunk FPX out before you're ever put in a situation like that, because FPX can at any point just run into you and run you over.
For now, though, we will continue to play. I guess it's a bit of a salsa. What's a chaotic dance, Frost? I feel like you're the type of person I could ask this to and you'd have an answer.
Breakdancing?
Breakdancing?
I mean, it's a rather...
But there's still control. This feels more like freestyle? Freestyle breakdancing.
You don't know what that means.
No, what means?
Freestyle breakdancing?
No.
That's fine.
Okay. Did I say something wrong? I don't know. That's not my area of expertise.
But you reached for it anyway.
Yeah. And sometimes you reach in and there's a mousetrap in there. I feel like I just got trapped. Oh, MLXG stood by himself. Hello, MLXG pops the ultimate, and he jumps immediately onto the carry. Here comes Ming looking for the knockup and the charm. Oh, the ball connects onto Crisp. Alex is going to block this one. I don't know if he wanted to. He flashes over Crisp, who goes into his perfect timing. Gimboon stepping forwards. He wants a bear trap on the rope. Cool off to the side. Lands the rake. He's knocked up and knocked down. Let Me once again finds it, and Xiaohu blows a raspberry.
And Let Me is just massive now. It's now a 6-3 Cho'Gath. And yet we're still not going to go anywhere near the Baron. I don't know, I keep looking at RNG's composition and it's working for them, but I don't want it to work for them. Because I just don't really find it enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, this is negative reinforcement. Whoop, knock up onto Chris, but LWX is still pushing forward to the shotgun. Oh no, that's too deep, too deep, too deep! Ming not going to fall right here, and the rest of the team is pushing forwards. MLXG looking for the kill. Alex buys enough time with the Zhonya's. Zatai does the same. Where's the team over the wall? Ming finds a knockup just back towards his own. And Alex again throwing up the pebbles.
Don't get what they came for. Just trading more kills. This has been a very bloody game. And I don't know. I don't really know what to say. It feels like RNG are just kind of chasing everyone around. Everyone's just skirmishing. We're having like these weird ARAM moments, and neither team is setting up for an objective or trying to move the game in any sort of direction rather than just murder the enemy opponent.
Fighting for fighting's sake is pretty much what's happening right now. Because you're right, there's no setup around objectives. FPX have just decided now's a good time to go Baron, so they're going to go Baron. It's a very impulsive game. You feel like a fight, you have a fight. You want to ward, you want to take Baron, you can do that too. If you want to charge like 3 inches up river, you can do that as well. And if you want to get caught, once again caught, 1, 5, and 2, the world is your oyster.
Not even going to blame them, because at the end of the day, the team with one of the worst objective controls in the LPL manages to take the Baron from underneath RNG's nose.
That's a bit unfair. They were at base, they were recalling, they thought now was a good time to shop.
Or they could have staggered their recalls, warded everything.
It's more like they saw them with the binoculars and were like, damn. You know what I mean? Instead of underneath their noses. No? Okay. 30 minutes into this game, and RNG do not have the advantage. It is indeed FunPlus Phoenix. Oh, let me just go this 500th kill in the LPL. Congratulations. That's why he's playing Assassination Cho'Gath. I get it now.
Things.
Triple AP item Cho'Gath from the bottom lane. He will blow someone up. Preferably not Cool. Cool's had enough. Stop hitting Cool. Kill someone important like Gimgoon or LWX.
Are either of them important? Because it feels like this Baron is simply so FPX can just kind of sit underneath their own towers.
Looks like it, doesn't it? They're doing the 1-3-1 defensive posture. Now, it's a rare one. And it's a bold move, so we'll see if it pays off for us, Kieran. What's your take?
I don't really know what to think about this game, in all honesty. I'm just kind of along for the ride at this point. I think we're going to have a skirmish, though. Maybe not. Talia just got distracted with mid lane.
Yeah, she's farming it out. And RNG on their way back. They're just like, well, I guess, I don't know why we're being on the aggressive since the enemy team has Baron, but I'm glad that we are. We just managed to soak up a wave on the bottom side, mid and top. Now mini waves are crashing. So we'll go back to base very leisurely. Pick up some items, complete those. Alex is actually putting some pressure down onto mid tower. And Cool's here as well. I feel like maybe RNG were a bit too lackadaisical, because we're about to lose mid lane tower. And FPX came with the bait and switch. You thought we were on the defensive 1-3 lanes, and while that was technically correct, we turned it into a 1-4 with Alex in the mid lane.
Do you need to be a bit careful? I like the fact that they are covering Gimgoon out to the side lane and trying to find a pick.
The great red buff 4 of 30 to 19. And FPX got it. All right, cool. Next dragon is going to be up in 7 seconds. It will be a Cloud Dragon. Gimgoon is pushing down the bottom side. And Gimgoon is now recalling. No one cares about the Cloud Dragon.
They'll take it once they have access to the Elder. So that's its only real purpose.
What a life, to be honest.
It is simply there to die for Elder to spawn.
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm sorry, Cloud Dragon. You deserve better. Anyway, Elder Dragon will be up in 6 minutes from now.
And it feels like we'll have another win condition to fight over. But right now, RNG, they're getting outmaneuvered on the map. Yeah, they stalled out majority of the Baron. FPX didn't make a lot of headway there. But I just kind of feel like we're sitting in this weird ARAM back and forth, looking for these skirmishes. I feel like that's the only win condition. Literally, it just comes down to who's going to win a team fight versus how do we play a side lane.
But my issue is, it's like the team fight is going to happen just kind of whenever. You know what I mean? It's like a skill shot lands, like a bubble lands, maybe chain of corruption, maybe Gimgoon's like, I misclicked my R button and we're going in. Like, it's just going to happen, not necessarily around an objective. And then the objective might be there for them to take afterwards. Like, there's no structure in my games. And I cast a lot of LPL. Like, I know that it's like forcing mistakes, but right now there's not enough. I need more. I need at least some framework.
I just wish. It sounds weird to say that it feels like RNG don't have a lot of hard engage because they have Rakan.
Gotten away from him. Sorry.
But it feels like they're constantly put in a situation where Rakan's having to disengage out of situations as opposed to hard engage. And I don't know if this is because I'd have to go back and watch the tape. If Amalek She is just getting caught too often, or they're fighting from too many different sides, but it just feels very chaotic.
Like this game, I don't feel like MLXG's been caught a lot at all.
Well, it's not reflecting in his score, but he's usually always coming from a different side. I'd have to go back and really intimately watch the team fights, but it just... I mean, you think about that big team fight in the mid lane, it was Letby that showed up late to it, just got a bunch of kills into the back line, versus a front-to-back fight, or like a beautiful chain of Rakan knock-up into Cho'Gath knock-up.
Now, here's a question. If you see 5 people sprinting towards you, and then you jump on them as the one person, are you still caught? Or did you catch 5 people and they have to kill you?
I think if it's whoever starts sprinting first.
Okay. But I've seen MLXG sprint towards FPX multiple times, but by himself into 3 people. So that's why I asked the question. Hey, that means having a grand old time in top lane.
With his AP Cho'Gath?
With his AP Cho'Gath. He's bigger than the turret now. He's been having a great time out of laning phase. He's about to get probably double Flame Horizon though.
Doesn't matter if LWX is unable to do anything on this Varus.
What was going on there? Well, I don't even know what that was.
It was Alex looking mid lane.
Okay. They brought up the wall. I think they just looked at each other, both panicked. And then actually was like, well, he has spell shield, but I guess I'll just murder him anyway because he's Talia standing still.
But it's because he was looking at the angle. You have to think of Talia standing there in Fog of War, especially around the corner like that. She's
looking for a wall.
Yeah, she's looking at how she wants to slide the wall, and then suddenly Xin Zhao's yelling and jumping on you.
He's loud. He makes it known. I think he's still in top lane. People just kind of came. I feel like Xiaohu just walked up and ganked his wave and left again. And now Letme's just like, oh, well, okay. I guess I'll go bot lane. I do have teleport. And Zatai does too. Yeah, he's going bot lane. So we're going to put both our teleports into bottom lane. Alex, Chris, and LWX, if you're looking at lane science, moving towards the river right now. We can actually take a look at some of the gold. Bottom side, LWX pretty significantly ahead of Letme. Top lane, pretty much equal. Pretty big differential in the jungle. Alex about 3k ahead of MLXG, or rather 2k. And mid-wave, mid-lane equal as well. So major disparities in the AD carries, of course. That double Flame Horizon is en route.
Good control ward. I think this is where the charge comes in.
Whoop. I agree, Zoe. Whoop. There's FPX. Alex is actually split from the pack right now, looking for that wall to come in around them, potentially split up the fight for themselves.
He'd be really scared to try to just go toe-to-toe with RNG in a full 5v5. I feel like FPX needs to leverage kind of timing windows with their mobility on the composition between the Talia, the Kled, and the Tom Kench, and start pulling RNG apart from kind of this death ball. They want to attack this from multiple sides and multiple angles.
Oh, cool. Off into the side. He is currently fully in the shadows. There are no wards spotting out Talon's location.
But the problem is what is Cool going to actually kill? I mean, he wants to get on top of Zoe, preferably, but she's standing right next to Rakan.
Cool is sprinting away. He's just sprinting around, being an annoying mosquito to let me in the top lane. And again, FPX are dancing around Baron right now. It's a bit of a slow dance. Oh, there we go, ultimate. And the charge as well. Fantastic wall, splits up the fight. They've actually found 3 on the backside. Double flash over the wall from RNG, and Cool is going to town on the back line. Ming low, but they've lost the Zoe already, and Ming backing away right into the open arms of Gimgoon. He's going to find his second, and the chime-in assist over to Alex as well. 3 kills to FPX.
And the brilliant part here was how Alex used the Talia wall to separate RNG. Like we said, it had to be about how they're attacking different angles. They couldn't just try to walk this one front to back. They caught out Letme, they separated him from the team and find a massive win. And RNG, in this game, starting from the back foot. This could possibly be an int.
This is a lot right now. Letme is not very tanky. He's an AP carry. He goes down for 850 gold. Massive kill to Cool. I remember the early game, but Zatai, he's found 1. It's a bull in a china shop. He finds 3. Now he's looking towards Gimgoon and LWX. He comes back once more, down for the count, but he's looking again. And he sends FPX packing.
But it is the inhib still down for FPX. They have so much map control. They still have the Talia wall. I feel like they're finding their confidence. Maybe some growing pains with Alex, relatively new to starting on the roster. And now the crowd sensing some sort of desperation for RNG.
Another mid game chant coming out from the crowd. I like it a lot. That's actually very innovative. I haven't heard anyone else do that, but I think people should do it more, especially in home stadiums.
It also happened at Rift Rivals. You could tell that whenever the Chinese teams were starting to get shook, that the crowd and Dalian would respond.
Yeah, they also cheated a lot of things. RNG moving towards the Baron right here. You can't put the Baron to sleep. Baron is permanently woke. Oh, this is just going to go down. FPX, they're moving towards the Elder Dragon, in fact. They have 2 members down, Cool and Alex. They can't contest this one. There's no smite. They've started off on the Elder. There's a minion wave pushing up the top side. I don't know if RNG will be able to contest this. I think they just traded Dragon for Elder.
But the nice thing about having access to the Baron is that since their inhib is pushed in, it helps alleviate a lot of the pressure there, as well as the fact that they don't have to fight FPX. Now, FPX, if they can get control of their side lanes, try to funnel them on all at once, then maybe they try to make use of this Elder Dragon and chipping away at the towers, as well as trying to chip away at RNG underneath the towers. But I still feel that RNG got the better end of the deal because it's easier to execute with. You can just be defensive and sit in your own base, whereas FPX must be proactive with this.
That's fair. But then again, if we're looking at trade deals, I mean, the top side is already open, so the minion waves will be pushing in regardless. Mid and bottom you can siege. I guess this bottom inner is going to be pretty easy for FPS to take, but from there it's basically you need to find a fight, and it will be underneath a tower. Though I also think that Gimgoon and Crisp are great ways to break that tower aggro up as well, so I think there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance. Especially if we squishy up the front line. Yes, the tie's already below half right now, and that burn is still ticking. So in the tower, gonna go down. But again, this is the real test here as we look towards these double inhibitor towers. Top lane's also pushing in. Someone will have to address this. This is a big wave. This is triple stack. Which
means that FPX just need to be patient. They need to be measured here. Unfortunately, their big wave got eaten up. Ah, that feels so bad.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, RNG then get all of the time in the world that they can take care of this big wave. Unlucky.
Crashed at the wrong time, unfortunately, and that was probably the big point where they could find that push. Because if you look at the Baron buff, it's over halfway done.
I was saying that this feels like a very measured and controlled FPX right now. We talked about in the earlier part of the game that this is a very raw, very aggressive, very brawl-heavy team. They sometimes struggle with their decision-making on individual and team-oriented maneuvers, and especially for how much time Cool has spent away from the team. You know, and I'm not saying Cool as a player away from FPX, I mean Cool as a champion, not near them on the map. It's much harder to cross-map a shot call like that. And if you watch FPX live, Cool is very loud.
He's the guy, yeah. But also the team respects him and listens to him. You know, he is the person who gets the final say. Chris is going to save his AD carry right there, and LPX is going to continue to push. Attention, attention, he is now double Flame Horizon Bletney in the bottom lane. He is a big Varus, but they're going to go back to base. Their Dragon buff, is about to expire, and there is still a Baron buff for another quarter duration for RNG. So push semi-successful, but would have liked more. They only managed to get the inner tower, and again, we are back to even footing in this 42-minute game.
And we are going to go the distance.
We've already gone the distance.
Have to question some of RNG's decision makings and how they set this one up. Obviously, the lane phase went rather sideways, let me dying 3 times, made up for it in the mid game, but none of those mid game fights ever accumulated into anything. It wasn't like RNG made massive progress over the map or got any sort of big objective on it, which has led us to this situation where I just feel that FPX have a bit more of a balanced composition about how they want to play out these moments. Credit to Alex, I think some of his Talia walls have been phenomenal. I think this will be the make or break for FPX in game number 1. You know, you have the potential that you could burn the Baron so quickly with all of the champions, with all of your items, and just lay down the Talia wall when it spawns, burn it, and run.
Well, this is a gut feeling thing, but honestly right now it feels like FPX are playing to win, whereas it feels like RNG are playing not to lose, which is a way of, you know, winning. But it means that you're not being proactive in, you know, turning a kill into an objective, looking to go out there and really cause major damage to the FPX base. It's actually FPX who are the ones like, okay, well, how do we convert this? How do we turn this into more and actually find the better trades?
I don't know. I actually still feel very afraid for FPX just because we know that RNG are miracle workers when it comes to having their backs against the wall, and it doesn't matter if Uzi's on the roster or not. Big key thing is that Zatai's GA just came back up. So again, you're having that confidence that, you know, everyone's basically on core itemization. We're looking towards final builds, and if I'm going to be placing bets on who's going to make the miracle execution in team fights, I'm most of the time going to place bets on RNG.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but it's the difference between setting up for a spike and being ready to receive. And it feels like RNG are ready to receive and then counterpunch than it is FPX being like, you know, they're constantly looking to set up and spike and just like find the point. Where RNG, you know, they're waiting for it. And you're right, I mean, they can hit real hard in a fight, but it doesn't feel like RNG are going to step out of their base and start it and be proactive and look for one. And so far in this game, they've just kind of been, as we said, fighting for fighting's sake versus looking for an objective, fighting for a reason, moving towards a tower, getting what they can out of the fight. It's also very messy, coming in at different times. You know, RNG are very coordinated this game. It feels like they're playing very fast and loose.
It also feels like both teams are giving each other a wide berth of respect. We probably won't see any more fights or any more skirmishes unless it's over major monster objectives or major structural objectives. Everyone doesn't seem to want to push their luck. They're just, okay, we'll wait this one out, we'll play around the timers, and we'll see how it all shakes out in the moment. And this could be a, you know, a big turn for FPX. This is a team that sitting kind of mid-tier, bottom tier of their standings. They haven't been able to string many wins along. It's been a lot of miscommunication, uncoordination. Haven't quite found the ceiling where we used to be very excited for this team. Not too long ago in spring, we were saying, no, this is going to be the true new super team of China. And they just never reached it.
I mean, we call them the team of potential. You know? I mean, back when they used to be brawlers, and then we were like, I don't really know what FPX are right now because they tried lots of different styles. But they were always a team of potential. You have someone like Gimgoon who is, frankly, he is, I would honestly call him a prodigy in the top lane. Like when he first came in, he was blasting people back on game
But
talents.
how long can you sit on a bottom tier team? And Gimgoon has sat on multiple bottom tier teams before you recognize that you were probably part of the problem.
I don't know. Ask every solo queue Yasuo and Silver. Oh, cool, caught out. Moving towards the bottom side of the map. He's going to have to burn his Mercurial on that one. And I'm not saying that Gimgoon plays perfectly every single time, but Gimgoon, his high moments are real high.
I think you are blinded by Gimgoon as a top laner when Gimgoon also has a lot of faults. And he is the one variable of 3 different teams that have all been relegated from the LPL.
Fair. But I also can find a handful of highlight clips where he just wins a game single-handedly.
This is what we wanted, though. And Alex definitely delivers. Excellently placed wall. There's the burn.
RNG.
Oh my God,
are you kidding me? That was the AoE! He hit cool and stole the Baron with Paddle Star. MLXD, nothing to be done here, nothing to see here. We're just going to get Baron and kite away. Zatai off to the side, missed call on that one from RNG, and now FPX are looking to turn. Cool, he's coming for the far reach around, and Alex is there to join him. Doesn't have the wall, but they would like to cut off RNG from a clean escape from the path to their base. But they have Baron, they have enhanced recalls. They need to stop them within the 4-second window. Xiaohu already going back to base, and they are shoving it down the mid lane. FPX, they need to break open something here in exchange for the Baron.
Oh, disaster for FPX. It looks like they're going to get the inhib tower, but can they get the inhib?
Well, they kill it very quickly. They have a mountain in the back pocket. It will be down. The top inhibitor is exposed, and now Elder in 15 seconds. MLXG is dead. This is FPX's to take.
Going the distance here. Wow, just split second. And even if Alex had placed the wall just a little bit different, like Xiaohu still has the ability to get around.
Absolutely unreal
devastating
stuff. I didn't know if he was aiming for the Baron, to be honest, but he still got it in the end.
he's thrown it in the pit.
He was tossing it in, and something stuck. Crisp is the one playing bodyguard right now, but they're actually burning the dragon. Not again, not this time. Crisp will secure it. On the front, it's Zatai by himself. He kites away, doesn't land the axe. Let me. Perfect on the perfect timing, but now he flashes away. Oh, misalignment on that one. Ming by himself, and now Gimgoon's like, it's time to shine, baby. Finds one, and Xiaohu and Zatai kite away.
And meanwhile, check out where MLXG was. He was rocking up from base. So, like you were saying, massive misalignment, massive miscommunication. Let me is flashing out, Ming is flashing in, and they lose their support for free.
All over the place, RNG in this game, throughout the game, in terms of the calling, in terms of the team fights, and FPX will take that one to the bank. They are the chaotic team. Let's see how this happens again, and Xiaohu with the steal.
Just devastating right there. I want to reward FPX because I feel like they made the right call. They went to burn it. They understood the circumstance and just didn't have the zone control. And Xiaohu gets it, like you said, with the AoE there. And that just feels so horrible.
Yeah, I watched it again. Unfortunately, we came in very quickly, so now I don't know if I agree with Past Pulse or not. I actually think because he jumped in with Portal Jump and looked for the more sparkles, so it might have been more sparkles, but we came in very late in that replay, so I'm not sure. Hopefully the Ancestors can
This is why I always wish that I had the ability to have a client.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah. We won't be able to look at that one, unfortunately.
Fun
so
fact,
again,
NA and EU have clients in front of them, so they get to click and look around at things. I get to look at it once.
Yeah, here we're fast and loose. Unfortunately, this game is also played in Beijing. We are tuning in right now. Nice to be able to instantly get over there, listen to the crowd, listen to the thunder of Beijing. FPX are pushing
you mean
in the
Beijing
lane.
library right now?
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like maybe halfway through, they made a loud noise and the librarian was like, get out. And yeah, it's definitely a lot more silent now that FPX are winning. Here comes the wall, and RNG are on the wrong side of it. LPX, actually, this is difficult for him. Oh no, don't do that. Steps into the Drowsy Bubble, and they couldn't take out the inhib. That was a surprisingly good defense from RNG over that wall right there, putting their skill shots in the perfect places.
And when you say RNG, we're going to put a specific face to that, and it is Xiaohu as another near miss there for LWX. And something that Xiaohu has been consistent on over the course of spring and summer are his base holds. You go back to some of his highlight plays on the likes of Syndra and his 1v5 performances.
Yeah.
And he's trying his damnedest to do the same thing for RNG here today, but that's now 2 inhibs gone.
And FPX, we want to see them play this slow right now. Next round is going to be a ways off, as is Baron. So they move towards the bottom lane, and we'll start charging this one up. The Wiv is just about to push away from them, so it's a perfect time for the rotate over from Cool. Top wave is going to be pushing in, mid wave the same. So FPX, it's all about this one tower. I feel like a team fight is on the horizon.
I don't think so. The more that I look at it, because of where Alex is positioned, I feel like the rinse and repeat play from FPX is to wait on the Taliyah wall, use it to separate RNG from their structure, and then just burn it out with LWX, and then disengage with Crisp.
I have a feeling RNG will engage.
Well, they'll try to force it, yeah, because they don't want to just bleed out here.
FPX bring up the wall. There's a small bit of chip damage, and RNG really good defense on the Taliyah ore once again.
It's just so hard for FPX. It's really dangerous to look for these 5v5s. It has to be the perfect circumstance just because of how beefy RNG are and then how much engage potential they have.
So just hit the tower.
I completely understand why FPX are being so cautious here. There's then also the added pressure that we need a win, guys. Let us get on this board.
I mean, they are so close to bringing down RNG. 52 minutes in game 1 here in Beijing. And they have the potential to take down this tower, take down the Nexus, and that would be a game 1 win.
And then you're just 1 game away from taking down the champs.
So play it safe. It's fine to be a little skittish right here. But it's always about striking that balance in many things in life, but specifically this game right here in League of Legends.
There's also then the desperation from RNG. You have to think that they feel the walls closing in on them. All eyes need to be probably on Ming. Will be the guy to start it off, you'd think.
Got to play tower defense on the top side. That tower's about to crack here. Let Me is the one to defend. He is a good one, actually, using that feast to be able to do so. Would rather not, though, because it's a nuke. But he's still able to clear it out using the Vorpal spikes. So
the Taliyah ultimate is just about to be back up. So I expect that Alex is going to use it again.
Now. He needs to wait for RNG to move into the right position, though. Because
we're going to Baron 3.
I mean, that's the problem, right? Because if you bring up the Weaver's wall, and then you have the people who can dive on the backside of the wall, and the people who don't have gap closers in the front, then RNG is just going to jump on you, and then or flash over if they have to. So it's really about making sure that you get the right distribution of members from RNG to line up for your Weaver's wall. Otherwise, don't do it. So I totally understand why FPX would decide to back away. Because as you said, Baron is up here in 20 seconds. If they lose a team fight, they lose Baron, and then you probably lose the game. So makes sense to go back to base. Actually spend a bunch of the gold they got from the initial push and top side, and look to just defend around Baron.
I just feel like so much of that gold is meaningless at this point, only for a couple of key members, because we've been sitting
basically on full item build.
Yeah, full builds for a very long time.
You can optimize though. You can sell items. Because FPX have crested 100,000 gold. They have 13,000 gold ahead right now of RNG.
I like this adaptation though. Check out Game Goon.
Checking it. I like what I see.
Why? Your team just has to disengage!
Get back in there! Alright, there he is. He's got the minions.
There you go.
Didn't feel safe without the minions, but he's got his friends here now.
They used the Talia wall. I think it was a bit overzealous to attempt the Baron and the inhib take. So much better this time around, and Gimgoon's got a big wave prepared for him.
Snow White and the 7 minions. Gimgoon and the 7 minions. Okay, here FPX. Thinking about engage. Cause on the front. They're actually starting it. They're forcing this fight. They know Gimgoon's pressuring. And he's off to the side. He's ready to charge, but it is the jungle. He'll be playing Plinko just a little bit with his charge. And he might go to the wrong
I think Gimgoon just needs to commit down mid lane.
He's going to force someone. It's going to be Zatai to meet him, and he is definitely the best person to deal with a Kled. But FPX now put them in a pincer position.
And RNG are just going to let it go. You saw the call come through. Ming completes his back, and RNG will let another Baron fall through their hands. So just that one that they stole with Xiaohu.
That was really nice actually there from FPX. That's what we call in chess a skewer, where you're going to lose something. And in that case, RNG actually just lost both. They lost the inhibitor and they lost the Baron.
Yep. Good coordination with Gimgoon. Ultimately, he was the chess piece that put them in. Can I say checkmate there?
At least check. Because we haven't won the game yet, so it's not checkmate, but it's check. They're in check.
But with this Baron, it should give them access over into the Elder. I just feel like FPX are so close, but yet I'm still afraid for them.
Yep.
And that feels bad.
For sure, and to be honest, the way that FPX are playing right now is afraid, and that's, I mean, it makes sense. First off, you're potentially about to be able to take down the best team in the LPL, slash the Asian League, slash the world. And you're in their home arena with 500 to 700 RNG fans staring you down. Like, there's a reason to be nervous. And I feel it.
Trying to set up the Talia wall again. I like the zone control from Alex, especially as they two-man this.
Yeah, that's good.
Need to use
does
this
a lot
wall.
of damage at this time. He's waiting till the highest possible moment because he knows if he brings up the wall and it comes back down, RNG, the floodgates will open and the water will come in and they will crash down upon Crisp and LWX. So again, playing it safe. Cool. Chunked by Xiaohu. And that's MLXG caught. He'll pop the ultimate. But he's also found by the Chain of Corruption. This is really good from the shotgun. He's going to get chased down. Ming has to use the ultimate defensively right there as well. This may give confidence for FPX to turn onto the Dragon now. Let me up to the top side.
There's
Ming in the
Blasco.
pit. MLXG regenning from red buff is a good idea to give him that one so he can regen. Out to combat though, that's important. It's down to half. Who can find the secure though? It's burning very quickly.
We got it.
It's MLXG. Where's the fight though? Gimgoon on the backside. He finds the connection. Oh, MLXG is dead. Xiaohu backs away, Zatai down. He comes up, he finds a dunk. No longer. Cool.
Oh,
shuts
TP.
him down. TP into the base where the recalls. It's not enhanced. Cho'Gath finds his way back there. It's a TP. He dodges the rupture. He dodges the let me. He moves on to the towers. He's got two. Teleports come in. Let me trying to stop them. Turns onto the wave. What happens to LWX and Gimgoon? There is no one to stop this. Kled, FPX, find game one of Beijing.
Literally run it down mid and find the win there. That was all sorts of messy from RNG. You have to expect better from such a caliber of that team. And FPX, and RNG's messiness and their scrappiness, they get the better of them. They pull them down to their level and they beat them with the experience.
I mean, FPX ultimately are the mud wrestlers. And you know that mud better than anybody. This is their battlefield.
And the cool thing was, credit to FPX recognizing that there was no way that they could go toe-to-toe in a 5v5 for RNG, so they never gave them the opportunity. You know, that was Gimgoon and Alex and Cool constantly taking shifts or rotations, passing off the baton, trying to be a mosquito, trying to be an annoyance, and denying RNG just all sorts of hard engage.
And you can be the strongest team, you can be the strongest hero, you can maybe be One Punch Man, but you can't kill a mosquito, and that was FPX, and they found it in almost an hour in Beijing. An hour game in this meta, Frosk.
Yeah, it was rough.
We could play 3 games in that time.
There was a lot of Barons. There was a lot of Elder Dragons. There was a lot of stalling.
All right. Well, we're going to send it back to the analyst desk with Dom and Barento. Call me by my real name, Mohammed.
Call me my yeah, exactly. What's my real name, Dom? What is my real name?
So RNG versus FPX is going on right now, Rez. And RNG dropped their first game against FPX. I believe that's one of their first. Let's see. The only other teams that they've lost to was JD.
Yep.
They've dropped a single game against Invictus Gaming and one game against EDG. Is FPX in the caliber of JD, IG, and EDG?
Nope.
Rez?
Nope. FPX did exactly what they did to JD a few days back. They brought him into the mud.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the Gimgoon style. No matter what team he joins, you're getting brought back down. So it's fun to see what FPX can do when it's that chaotic. Their composition didn't really scale that well up against RNG. I think for the most part, it was just the front to back style and nature of it. That LWX, when he got his full crit item, actually just difficult to deal with. So that might have been the cause for it. And the Talia wall was fabulous.
Yeah.
So I think that near the end of the game, when the tempo was getting pushed and you had the Kled on the side lane constantly being an annoyance, it was just an uphill battle for RNG.
I mean, Alex with those Talio walls was all over the map, walling off inhibitors, walling off turrets, walling off barons and dragons. I feel like the only time we didn't see the Talio wall was when there was that last fight. It was like, oh, where's the wall? How come there? Oh, that's because they don't actually want it. They're trying to bait RNG into an actual wall for the fight. And FPX, like we heard from the casters, they thrived in the chaos. They avoided the 5v5 dog pile from RNG so successfully that you could see RNG getting frustrated.
Yeah, and it's just weird on the side of RNG that it felt like the initial laning phase that really hurt them, specifically Let Me, going for the AP build, very odd on that side. Of course, they wanted a little bit of damage, and the combination of Rakan, Cho'Gath seemed inspiring.
If you could ever catch someone, they're gone like that.
Boom. They didn't get the vision control to allow Cho'Gath to find any entrance to the game. That's the one problem. So suddenly it was Rakan starting the fight, so then they can get a follow-up from Cho'Gath. And so with how hectic the team fights were, how many flanks being open on the side of FPX, that, it was hard for RNG, especially since the Elder Dragon made it difficult once the side lanes are being opened up. So good job for FPX at the very end of the day.
I think this is where we actually need to celebrate Alex, and specifically his synergy with Cool in roaming on that Talia and that Talon, able to maintain constant vision pressure. I think we saw the triple ward line down to the bottom lane early on and constantly moving that Talon around the map during the mid game to harass. Zoe never got a chance to just set up and pepper people with those paddle stars.
Yeah.
That's a Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled paddle stars.
I love that's where your mind went, because I'd agree with you on the Alex point. I think one of Alex's best traits is the fact that he can just be so co-synced with his mid laners.
Yeah.
Being brought in from J-Team, that was the best trait that he had with Fofo, that he would be able to be the team that would have early access to the mid lane, that they can push Fofo out to the bottom side of the map. That's just LMS talk. But now it seems like he's immediately had that combination with Cool, now going towards more comfortable picks. Talon is a bit more frequent on the side of Cool, so now it seems like the early game is being dominant from the middle of the map, just because Alex has been a good injection of growth to this team.
Yeah, he's certainly providing a lot for them. Of course, LWX, Gimgoon, and Crisp still bringing up the rest of the team behind that. But now we got to look at RNG and say, okay, well, they've stumbled now. Do they continue to try to play this dog pile strategy? It's going to be really interesting.
I want to see more.
I just heard in my ear that we got our MVP as well. That's going to Gimgoon for his performance, teleporting into the back and ending the game. Only 11 for that, only an 11.0 KDA.
I just love the fact that a lot of the best things about Gimgoon was how he got his team out of situations.
Yeah.
Sneaking the Baron underneath RNG, being able to use his ulti to just get out of there, even though Cool was the one person that couldn't run. And then, of course, the way they ended the game, he had a one-track mindset, and it was really messing up RNG.
It worked out for them in that game one. I'm going to pick your brain about whether or not RNG are going to change their strategy up in the pregame. Before we get to that, though, let's go ahead and let you guys take a quick break while we get that game two ready. Don't go anywhere. The LPL will be right back.
我凤凰的精神就是不畏挑战，燃烧青春。